delay. My name is Kananelo Jama. I'll be presenting the PVManager Basic Training for today, just to kickstart the year and introduce this wonderful software that we have. I'm just going to wait 2 more minutes just to wait for anyone else who will be joining to join, and then we can start. Hey, I think we can start now. Um, yeah, so welcome to the first PVManager Basic Training of the year. So in this training, I'll just be presenting the basics of PVManager, showing what it does, showing its capabilities. I can play around with it, and if time allows, or if you guys would like, I can do a quick example at the end just to give you an idea um, of a practical example of how to go about using it and how it can be useful to you and your company. So yeah, once you open PVManager, this is the first page that you see. And you see on the sidebar on the left, it's designed in such a way that you can start your project in a orderly manner, and everything is organized in that way. So yeah, you can just start with your basic information about the site, the project, who's doing the commissioning, who's the operator. Um, and once you're done with those details, this is where you enter the locations. So for example, here we're in Africa, South Africa to be specific, in Cape Town. So as you see, as we complete these, the details here change. So the weather data will be specifically for the area in which you choose. Yeah, so it'll automate these details automatically. The only inputs that you'll have to do here that are essential is to input your snow loads and your dynamic, your wind load. So as you know, Cape Town, we don't have snow. So we just put 0 there, and then the wind load, that's where you edit it based on where you stay. So around where we are, it's about 22 meters per second. So we'll just enter that. And yeah, so this is important before you go to the planning. It'll, in the background, do the calculations of the ballasting that you might need, the weight of ballasting that you might need. So moving on to the next tile, the planning phase. So this is where you plan your PV system. You specify which roof, the size of the roof. Is it a flat roof? Is it a tiled roof, IBR, whatever the case, and you can design the roof accordingly. So here, yeah, so that's where you do the PV design on the roof. Just before I do a quick example here, I just want to take you guys through all the tiles just to give you an idea. Just loading. Yeah, so once you're done with the planning, you can go ahead and also complete the connections, cabling, and then at the end, it automatically generates a bill of material for you. And that bill of material, you can tweak it however you like, add and remove items however you like. And at the end, you can go to a presentation where you can download a report of that site. Now, this report will show you an overview of that installation. It will show you a planning view, a summary. It will display the module array to help the installer mount the PV accordingly. It will show you a simulation of the shading, mounting structure that's needed, dimension planning, and also a part list, etc. So now this report, you can tweak it however you like by selecting what you want to see in that report. And this is something that you can also present to your customer or your potential customer, just to give them an idea of what you're working with. Now, obviously, when you buy this on the report, you can also edit it in such a way that your company details and logos go onto that. Now, PVManager also has a brilliant feature where it also has a financial tool here where you can input and you can determine your profitability. So as you see here, you specified according to the country and the PV roof type and all that, and then later on you are able to determine the costs and the profitability of this installation. And then here there's further settings that you can play around with once you are more proficient with the software. Just want to show you how it looks like. I won't go into detail into this at the moment. I might provide it in another training. So that's how it looks like. This is all the settings and the additions that we've made over the years. And yeah, it's a quick import and export if you need it. So going back, so we finished the project side location. Now we go onto the planning. So with the planning, you can just select a building size. Once you select this box, and you can edit it and select the sorry. Yeah, so you can just drag this. You can just drag this box over here, and then on the right hand side, that's where you can specify the dimensions of the building. So if it's a standard square rectangular building, you can just do this. But if it has corners and certain tricky parts, this is where you can use the polygon flat row. So as you can see on the side, you can put the building width, the length, the height, etc. So once you do that, I'm just going to leave it on these dimensions. I want to specify the roof type. So with the roof type, you can see there's different types of roofs, pitched roof, shed roof, hip roof, flat roof, and butterfly roof. Just want to show you something quick. So when you select pitched roof, it will automatically create the pressure. But what's nice about this is that we also have a 3D simulator. So if you go to the top and select this 3D view, it will generate a simulation. This is going to give you an idea. So it's opening on the side. It's opening on the side, and once it's open here, you can see your 3D view. Can move it around, drag it. You can also play it so you can see a range of the day that yeah, you can see once you play it, it'll show the full day and the different hours and how it affects shading and how the shading affects the panels and all that. Okay, I can check it for you. So I just put this on the background at the moment. So you can just play around with it. Once you change it, let's say I'm going flat roof, this will automatically edit it to a flat roof. Before that, I think okay, yeah. Let me check your company. So another thing that you can check and that can assist you is this little picture below. If you're unclear of what the requirements on this sideline requires, you can just refer to this. So for example, here the building width is F, you go look for F, here's F. Building length is E, you go look for E, here's E. Height 1, height 2, D, B, and all that, everything is abbreviated here on the side. So you can determine your overhang, your building height, etc. So now another important thing is the roof covering. You need to specify the roof covering for the flat roof, whether you're using bitumen or full roof or is it concrete. Standard flat roofs are concrete, so I'll just go with that. So once that's done, you can double click here and then this is where you do your PV planning. So on this page here, that's where you decide on your mounting, the panel that you'll be using, the type and the size of the panel, the mounting that you'll be using, the ballasting, all that. So here in this drop down, you'll see there's an aerofix, east-west configuration, south configuration, 10 degrees, 15 degrees incline, top fix 200. These are the mounting that we provide here at IBC and which are ideal for a flat roof. So you don't have to specify according to the roof type. Once you've selected the roof type in the previous page, this is consolidated for you so that you are only able to select the mounting that's applicable for that specific so in this case, I'll just select Aerofix T3 15 East config. And for modules, I'll use our IBC 410 bifacial panel. And then the module information, the clamp color, the bifacials are nice and black, so it'll be nice to also go with the black mounting. So with the clamps, I'll just go for black. This is standard module clamp G3 module orientation. In this case, you can only mount it in horizontal. There is a vertical option, but that's for specific mounting systems. So in this case, it consolidates to only horizontal. Row completion, this is how you decide how the PV array should end. You choose to have modules on both sides, or if you choose to have wind covers on both sides to avoid any wind going under and blowing off the PV installation. Okay, so in this case, I'll just use modules on both sides and I'll change it and show you how that changes accordingly. Ballast rails. So with a flat roof, you need a ballast rail and some ballasting just to hold your PV installation down. With most flat roofs, you are not allowed to drill into the concrete, so you need to reinforce it with enough ballasting, which fortunately for you, PVManager calculates how much ballasting you need based on a number of factors like location, the wind load that affects that specific area, etc. So here we just select the ballast rail. I'll just go with the LML 2.1 meter. And then our connector, I'll select the standard outside. Yeah, and that's about it. So once you're done on the side, here you can just go on top and automatically place your modules. So here you can specify how many rows and columns of PV modules you'd want, or if you want to populate the whole roof, you can just use useful roof area. So if I just leave it at useful roof area, it'll populate the whole roof within confined space here. So I'll just give it a second to populate. Great. So now that it has populated, you can see here, obviously this is way too many modules for you to count. So what it does after populating, you can see the number of modules that's currently on this roof, which is 210 modules, and you can see the total kilowatt peak output, which is 86 kilowatt peak. So if you are aiming for a specific output, you can adjust it based on this. So maybe your inverter is won't fit that. You can remove a whole row by selecting one of the modules and then selecting shift and then selecting the other module at the end of the line. You can just say delete. So here, as you see, it'll delete it for you, and this will update automatically. So we went from 210 pieces to 195 pieces as we deleted an entire row, and the output is now at 79.95 kilowatt peak. As I mentioned also before, is that the simulator populates and changes according to the changes that you make on the app directly. And as you can see, we removed this this whole row, and you can see there's something missing there. So if I zoom in, you can see the east-west configuration. You can see where shading is at this specific time. In my current view, you can see it's north facing. So this, yeah, so this wouldn't be ideal. The east-west configuration wouldn't be ideal in this case, but this is just an example, just to show you how it works. So if you can see, okay, the roof is north facing, maybe I might need a north facing mounting structure. So here you can just go to the drop down and change it here and just select automatic module placement again and maximize the roof. here you'll see the changes made now. As you can see, 150 modules are used and a total of 61 kilowatt peak is being achieved. And the 3D simulator is generated automatically. As you can see, the modules are currently facing the wrong direction. They're facing in the south, but that is not a problem, as you can just go back to the previous page and change the orientation of the roof. So I'll just show you now. Here you just rotate this roof until you get to a north facing. There you go. So as you can see now, the orientation has been changed and the modules are now facing north. So perfect. Just want to show you one last thing before we move on here. Is that when your roof only allows a specific number of arrays, of number of rows or columns, you can here come and select the quantity of rows or columns, which you can specify the number of rows. I'll say 2. In the columns, I'll say 3. Here you can specify whether they must start on the left, on the right, start from the bottom right, bottom left. So I'll just say start from the bottom left, just to give an idea. It will automatically start from the bottom left. So yeah, that's the changes that we made. Another thing is a lot of roofs have obstacles on sorry about that. A lot of roofs have obstacles on them, like whether they have chimneys or other obstacles. So what you can do is you can just go to other, and if they have a wall, you can select wall and put a wall here and edit its dimensions on the right hand side. You can edit the size, the length, the width, the height, etc. If it also has a solar collector, you can also place it specifically where the roof is. I just want to place some much things here just to give you an idea. I also add this satellite dish here. Okay, I think if there's another obstacle here, you can select the cube to mimic whatever obstacle is on that roof. And then if there's chimneys, you can also add that as well. Just select chimney and choose which chimney. If it's just the chimney that you have on your roof, you can just add it there as well. That's about it. So if you go to our 3D, then you can see that all these obstacles have been added on this roof. Another thing I wanted to show you with this simulation, if you play it, it's gonna run the time and it's gonna give you a simulation of how the sun is going to move and how that will affect shading. As you can see, the shading of these obstacles are moving, and yeah, not much shading is affecting these panels as they were mounted in the right position. Let's click pause there and yeah, go back. So yeah, that's what you can do here. You can also go to tools where you can add more stuff. So if you have an overview of the building that you're trying to design the PV system for, or if you have a Google Maps screenshot of it, you can add that picture and superimpose it at the background, and you can that'll allow you to easily design your PV system according to that specific house or building. Okay, so moving on into connections. So as you can see on top, on the left hand side, you can see under project is green, planning is green, connection is still gray because we haven't touched on it. But if there's any error or any issue or information that you haven't inserted yet, it'll show red. And then you should just go back and rectify whatever issue there is there. So here on connections, you can you specify the basically the grid connection that you have, and that will allow you to go to your inverter configuration. So this one is the German grid connection conditions. So we won't touch on that. Doesn't just select keep it as is. And we can just go ahead and go to the roof groups. So with certain buildings, there's obviously different roofs that you will be mounting your PV on, and hence this roof group tab where it'll show you roof group 1, 2, 3, etc. How many modules, which modules are you using, and all that. So this is roof group 1. There's no roof group 2 because we didn't add another roof. So that's that, it's green. So we can just go on to the next tile, which is the inverter configuration. So the inverter configuration will allow you to select, will allow you to select the inverter that will be ideal for your PV system. So if you just go to roof group 1, you can specify which brand of inverter you would like, whether it's a Fronius, a Goodwin, SMA, or Sungrow. And once you select those, let's say, for example, I select Fronius, it shows the different product families that are available and the ones that you would like, ideally for that specific site. Now Fronius obviously is now AC coupled, and then we can go to automatic dimensioning where it will give you options of which inverters you may use. This case, let's see. Another thing, if it doesn't allow you to automatically dimension, you can also go through manual dimensions where you can specify what you the inverters that you would like for that site. It's gonna auto dimension. Okay, yeah. So in the manual dimensioning, here's the inverters that you can select. You can decide on the quantity of inverters, which inverter could be 10 kilowatt, hybrid inverter, three phase, or whichever one. So here I'll just select one. I just want to show you. So as you can see, automatically the connection tile will highlight red on the side, meaning that there's an issue. And on the page, it'll show you where the issue is exactly. So here it shows that there's currently 20 modules on the roof, but not on the inverter. So that's where we go down here where the number of MPPTs that are on the inverter will show. In this case, there's two MPPTs and zero student modules. So here we can just add it here. We can say one string per MPPT. Let's take it to 10 modules each. Now you see this error goes away because each module is assigned to the inverter. So here when I select 9, it'll change because there's one module that's unaccounted for. So yeah, we're still not done. We see here there's red highlights here, which means there's an issue. So as you can see here, we're exceeding the MPPT current rating. So here we need to reduce the modules of the MPPT. So just decrease it. Streamlines. So if you play around with it, you'll see what's compatible, what's not.
Since it's a single string, I think the panel is it's bigger than the inverter. So check the smaller panel there.
Sorry, come again?
I'm saying since it's a single string there,
Yeah.
because it was higher than the inverter current
Yes.
18. Try a smaller panel there because
Yeah. So yeah, we can go back and try that. Thanks for that, Jose. We can go back to the planning and try different panels or at the moment we are on the IBC monosol 410s, which is pretty small. So what we can do is we can reduce the number of modules sometime. So at the moment we have, yeah, the monosol 410s. So set out. My computer's a bit slow. Yeah. So if we go to connection, go to group. Another thing with manual dimension is that you also uh, run the risk of some errors. But with automatic dimensioning, it automatically dimensions your well selects ideal inverters for your installation. If you are under edit, we choose. Let's see something here. Okay, let's go with this inverter here. Select. Show red. So here, as you can see, as I increased here, it did also change the total output power, which exceeds the limit of this specific inverter. So we can just go back and select different inverter.
Let's say your admin, let's say the username. Then if you can use /admin or yeah, can you send it to me because I'll be probably
So as you can see, yeah, it just does that. So what another thing you can do is you can then go back and just remove some more modules and you'll be within the allowed number of modules. So I'll just delete. Give it a second. So this is just a rough overview, just trying to show you all the capabilities and the assistant that the software gives you, which allows you to dimension your system properly. Go back. As you can see, there you go. At the moment, there's no errors. We're within the dimensioning ratio. All the modules are assigned to the inverter and the individual MPPTs. MPPT1 has 8 modules and MPPT2 has 5. So at the moment, there's no errors on this page, and when you see on the side, everything is good to go. Here you can also add your monitoring and EMS. But I'll skip this for today, as well as the consumption and storage. But I'll skip this for today as we're running out of time. I have 15 minutes left, so I'll just skip this. Give it time. It doesn't have a lot of processing power, so I'll just close that in the background so that it's faster. Let's say I'll skip that. Cabling, this is also where you can add your DC cabling. Specify the length and the cross section, each MPPT, how many of the cabling you want, which color you want, the black one only or the red one, or both of them. Both of them, yeah. So there's an error there, it will show AC cabling as well. It's just an overview. So, okay, what I wanted to show you is once you're done with everything here and everything is green, you just go to your quotation in here. This is where your bill of material will show for the specific project. Some technical issue at the moment. Seems like someone is currently using the system at the moment, so it's not generating the quotation. Let's try again last time. The project was changed by another user. So it looks like someone is using the same software and user at the same time as me. So there's just a clash in that. But yeah, so normally here there'll be a bill of material, modules, mounting, cabling, etc. will show here what the quantity and the unit, and also show the price per unit here. And here at the bottom, you'll see the total price excluding VAT. Yeah, and then yeah, sorry about that technical glitch, but I'll show you again in the next training. So once you have your bill of material here, you can go ahead to your presentation. So here you can specify what you'd like to see in the report. So I'd like to see the summary, the planning view, display module, shading, view of mounting structure, static report, and all those. And also a checklist for your mounting. So once I'm done there, also add a circuit diagram, which is generated and then once you're done, you can go to print layout. This is where you specify how you want this report to be laid out. Summary and view, how big you want the page to be, landscape, portrait mode, etc. And once you're done with that, you can select apply and go to print. This will print the report for you, and I'll show you shortly what a report you can expect. Now, obviously, was just a basic one, so it will just show you the basic stuff, but with more complex systems and PV, it'll show you a more detailed one, and also depending on the information that you put into the system. Another thing I wanted to show you with this page is once you're done with this project and you've got your bill of material and everything, you can go directly to the IBC shop where the bill of material is directly pushed to your card, and you can generate a quote or even pay for that order there and then. Okay, so the download is done. This is currently the report. As I showed you, okay, this is a summary, company details, customer address, and everything will be showed here. And if you buy this license, you can put your logo here as well. You didn't get these information, so it won't show. But site data, that's what we selected, the area in which we're working in. Then I'll just go to summary. Summary shows you, okay, the roof type, the roof dimensions, roof covering, etc., which modules you selected. Yeah, going next. Yeah, it'll show you the inverter type, everything, dimensioning, AC cabling, as well. It will also show you this yield forecast. So this energy flow will show you the losses that you have. So here, AC cabling losses 0.21%, inverter losses 4.95, etc., etc. And then here, it'll show you the performance ratio of your system. Moving on to the next page, this is the planning view. This is the overview of your roof and shows where everything is located. As you can see, we put the modules in the top right, and all the other obstacles show where they are. So this is just, I'm just scrolling. So here, now this is where you're able to get a sense of shading of each obstacle and how it affects the modules. As you can see here, the lighter colors, there's not much shading on them, and it's probably shading in the very early mornings or later on in the evening where there's not much sun. So that shouldn't matter that much. So as you can see here, the gradient of the shading, there's more shading close to the obstacles. Here black is where there should be a concern. So whenever you see black, red, blue overcasting on the on the PV array, that's where you should have a concern. So here at this current moment, it's only close to 0% shading on this PV array, which is good. Here it'll show you the mounting. Here it'll show you the base rails and the size of the base rail that you would need to cut. So here it's showing green, which means you need 1.75 meters per per line. And moving on to show us static report. So let's go down. Yeah, it'll show a static report of the roof, and there's somewhere where I want to show you it generates ballasting report. Oh, okay. I don't select the ballasting report, but yeah, this is just the static report. For the technical guys, this is where you can see all the ballasting calculations and see how much you would need. Oh, here actually. So as you can see, roof zone 1 specifies first to third module. This is how much ballasting you need, etc. So moving on, this is a circuit diagram for your system. It will show you, okay, the PV here, 2 MPPTs, the inverter, and consumption meter, grid, everything. So this is also nice for the technical guys and also to show your clients. This is another rendition of that with more descriptions on the side, easier to follow, and yeah. And then last but not least, it's the checklist. So there's a quick checklist for your mounting structure, just to check that you have everything before you go to site. And yeah, that's just a basic report. Obviously, this will have changes based on the project that you're working on and the information that you put into that into the software. So yeah, that's it for today. I hope you found this session quite
Okay.
yes, yeah, sure.
So sorry, just a question there. I see some of, especially on the page that you're showing, I see some areas are blurred out. No, wait,
Oh yeah,
on
yeah.
the PV, yeah, I see some areas are blurred out, like the ballast plane, the ballast
Yeah.
plane. If you
Yes.
want that included in the report, then how can you unblur them and tick them?
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. That's actually a good question. So, like you see at this moment, the order quotation part list is also blurred out. That's due to me not being able to go to generate a quotation on this. So once you've populated this, this is where um, this will be available for you. Uh, yeah, this will be available for you. So this basically means that there's not enough information for the software for it to generate a ballast plan for you, a part list, and any of those sort. So now, since there's nothing on the quotation, this will be blurred out because there's not enough information. So you can just go back and figure it out or insert. You can insert, for example, with the quotation, you can insert information articles manually. Just show you bill of material project. You can just go to the top, add article, and then can select here. We want to use the IBC. Want to sell 14s, how many pieces? 13 pieces. Can just add it, and it'll add. So now, okay, the presentation. You see now this is no longer blurred out because now there's something on quotation. So
Okay.
the part list, quotation, or order will just show those modules. So yeah, that's about it. It's just about populating the system, giving it as much information as it needs so that you can, at the end, have all the details that you may require.
All right, thanks.
Yeah. So yeah, thanks everyone for joining this training. I hope you found it insightful, and hopefully be using PVManager for your next upcoming installations ahead. Yeah, if you guys have any questions, feel free to pop us an email at service@ibc-solar.co.za, and we'll be happy to be answering any of your questions. Thank you very much and see you next time. Thanks.
Thanks, Jama.